Hello everybody, Lyndon Poskitt from lyndonposkittracing.com. Just bringing you a little bit of an update really. Rather than sitting at my computer, I've decided to do it in this what's becoming normal video fashion, and what better place to do it from the front living room of Lyndon Poskitt Racing headquarters. It's a few months since I got back from Dakar now, 4 or 5 months. And I finally got back into normal life after living such a massive dream. And you know, Dakar Rally was the biggest thing on my bucket list to do in my life, you know, since I started racing. And what that does is it leaves one big question as to what to do next. And I get asked it over and over again. One thing that I've always been about is about setting targets and new goals and getting out there to realise my dreams and my goals and all the targets that I set, and putting plans in place to do that, and I really enjoy making that happen. One thing about having stretched goals and stretched targets is it gives you something to look forward to, it gives you something to work towards, it keeps you excited and enthused in what you're doing. And as some of you may know, one decision that I've made to do is Red Bull Romaniac. So I'm going to do the Hard Enduro Rally in Romania, leaving in 2 weeks' time. Riding hard enduro on an enduro bike is not something that I've done before, so I knew that it was going to bring new challenges. I knew I was going to have to work hard. I've been training hard, but I'm under no illusion that it's going to be a very, very difficult event. But that's what gets me excited and enthused about going and doing these new events. So I'm really excited to be going to Romania, and not only that, to ride in the Carpathian Mountains is going to be absolutely fantastic. I get to see a new country, you know, and that just keeps me excited all the way along. So that's what I'm doing next. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about what I'm doing long term as well. One thing that some people will know that I've always liked to do since about 2006 is connect people with my experiences. So, you know, everything that I do is generally unique and different, and I like to bring people along with me, share my experiences with them, involve them, just like I did on the Dakar Rally, and I'll try and continue to do that. Moving back to the Dakar Rally, you know, people always ask me, you know, will you do it again? Will we see Lyndon Poskitt Racing going back in 2014? Really, I've never had the answer until about a week ago, so it's taken me a lot of thought and thinking about what I want to do and what I want to get out of my racing, and also what I can do to connect better with the people that help me and follow me. So, you know, it's been a tough past couple of months trying to figure all this out, but now I can bring it to you and share it with you. Looking back on Dakar 2013, my goals were very clear. You know, it was a lifelong dream or ambition to race the Dakar Rally, and that was my ultimate aim, to go and race the Dakar Rally. And once I'd started to put that in place, my goals for the race were clear, just to finish the rally and be on the finishers podium. You know, and if I look back at the rally and what I achieved, I would say that I exceeded those goals. Getting a top 50 finish overall in the motorcycle class, finishing 46th, and best of all, getting a top 10 stage finish, something that I could have never expected in my wildest dreams to get. But no one can take that away from me now, and I did it. So yeah, I exceeded my goals, but that brings us back to the question, would I do the Dakar Rally again? Well, yes, I would. I absolutely loved every minute of it. Well, almost every minute of it. I mean, even the parts where I was parked up at the side of the track, repairing my bike for an hour, losing an hour repairing the fork leg, or whether it was, you know, gritting my teeth over the grueling 15,000 feet altitude to reach the bivouac in the rain and cold. You know, even those bits I really enjoyed. The bits that I probably didn't enjoy was the vibration and the numbness and pins and needles that I had in my hands. On the last day I had some horrible pains in my hands, to the point where I could have it would almost brought me to tears on the last day. And that's because I've got carpal tunnel syndrome in my hands, so you know, I really want to try and get that sorted out before I focus on any sort of big rallying. So that's one thing that I want to try and do. As I've already said, you've got to have goals and you've got to have targets. So let's think about 2014 and what that would bring. Well, First of all, one of my aims would be, or goals would be, to take my own team, take my own support vehicle, design and build it myself, my own support crew, including my dad again as mechanic. But what's my goal for the race? Well, I think if I did have an attempt at the Dakar again, I would endeavour to get a top 30 finish. I think it's realistic, and putting everything into place that I learnt from the rally in 2013, it's possible. You know, the first of those things I said about a support crew, I think that's something that's quite achievable. The second one, getting a top 30 finish, brings quite a lot of risk with it. In 2013, January this year, I rode fairly conservatively. I had a standard bike, relatively standard, factory bike. I rode conservatively, and you know, I had one big crash on day 10. Now, I was very lucky with that. It was one of those silly crashes that happens to us all. I could have easily broken my collarbone and been out of the rally. As it happens, I didn't. I made it to the finish. But one thing, if you're pushing for a top 30 finish, then you obviously have to, you do increase the risk of crashing, you increase your risks of not finishing the event. I mean, the Dakar model is obviously, the way it's set up is if you don't finish one day, you can't start the next day. So if you fail to finish a day, you're basically out of the rally, and after putting everything into it, believe me, that must be gut-wrenching, especially as a privateer when you've put all your own money and time and effort, and also for your sponsors and followers too. You know, and that just puts more pressure on yourself also. So if we think of some of the other things, like mechanics of the bike, you know, mechanically and reliability wise, the bike was absolutely spot on. It never missed a beat. I couldn't fault it, but that's not always going to be the case. You know, and from a finance point of view, for me as a privateer, it was extremely hard and time consuming to raise the £76,000 that I have worked out that it cost me to do the Dakar Rally in 2013. And I absolutely couldn't have done it without all my sponsors and followers and helpers. But with a budget that scale, it really is time consuming, and it takes away the focus of me being able to focus on training and getting myself fit, and getting myself right for events such as this. It's key to the preparation, the training, and get as much bike time as possible before entering such an event. So with that and the increased risks, you know, as a privateer who puts everything on the line to go and do events like this, you know, the model just is not there for me to do another Dakar Rally attempt in 2014. You know, not the way I'd like to do it anyway. I've put a lot of time into thinking about how I can make it happen and what would be right for me and all my sponsors. But unfortunately, for me, I think the right decision is to say no to 2014. And you know, who knows what the future might bring. 2015? Question mark. But that's it. I'm announcing today that I will not be putting an entry in for the Dakar Rally in 2014. And that has been a very tough decision for me. That has probably taken me a few months to decide on. The only thing that would change that for me, that decision, would be if I got a significant sponsor to help take away some of the financial burden and to allow me to concentrate on training, getting my wrist put right, and getting to myself and my machinery, bikes, etc. to optimum performance before our next attempt at Dakar Rally. The other thing, you know, for now, Lyndon Poskitt Racing does go on, and there's lots of exciting things in the pipeline as well. What now? Red Bull Romaniacs in 2 weeks' time, as I said earlier. And also, if I look back to what started the whole Dakar dream, or the adventure riding, long distance riding dream for me, it was when I was sat as a kid watching the African Dakar Rally down on the African continent. And that was something that really appealed to me. So what I can announce today is that in the very near future, likely to be towards the back end of 2013, I am planning to do the Mazuga Rally or the FIM World Round in Morocco. to, you know, it's to achieve that African continent rally niggle that's there. I think it'd be great to do a rally in Africa. I didn't get a chance to do the FIM round in Morocco last year as a result of breaking my foot, so that's something that I'm going to focus on for the future. So that's what's coming next in terms of rallying for me. The next big thing to announce really is that my factory rally bike, number 168, that competed in the Dakar in 2013, is now for sale. Big decision to decide to sell the bike, but what's good for all my followers is that there is an exciting new project in the pipeline. I am going to build myself a rally bike for the future events. So that's currently in the pipeline, and if anybody is interested in the bike, it will be going on my website for sale very soon, and there's options with the bike or spare engines, support packages, whatever anybody might be interested in. So that's it really. With all else said, all I can say is that I will bring you up to speed with everything that's going on for the remainder of the year. Whether it's having surgery on my wrists to get that put right, or it's racing Red Bull Romaniacs and struggling my way through the hours of endless hill climbs and rocks and waterfalls, or whether it's in the African desert fighting my way through the dunes. I hope you'll find it interesting to follow, including the bike build. I can assure you that that'll be interesting too, and you'll be able to find more out about that through my website shortly. So without further ado, thank you very much for listening, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the year, and I'll keep you posted. Thank you. Hello everybody, and start again. Don't chop my head out, you chop my head out. What better place to bring it to you than from the Lyndon Poskitt Racing headquarters living room. So, what?
No,
I can't speak, babe.